Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Arne Slot told Liverpool already has two ready-made replacements for Harvey Elliott. Former Liverpool striker Emile Heskey has endorsed Rio Ngumoha and Trey Nioni to fill the midfield void left by Harvey Elliott's departure to Aston Villa. The England under-21 international departed Anfield for Villa on transfer. Deadline day, Elliott secured a loan move with an obligation to make his switch to Villa Park permanent at the campaign's conclusion. The 22-year-old has featured 3 times for Unai Emery's outfit thus far, finding the net once but was criticized by the Villa boss after the draw with Sunderland. Some might worry that Elliott's exit from Merseyside leaves Arne Slot's squad lacking midfield depth. However, Heskey reckons Ngumoha and Nioni will flourish in his absence, with the duo set to feature against Southampton, with Curtis Jones providing another alternative for Slot in that department. I think Liverpool will be fine in midfield without Elliott. They've got Curtis Jones, so I think it's fine, he said via aceodds.com. Elliott is a great player. It's interesting because he's won back-to-back European championships at U21 level. In any other country, he'd be a mainstay at a top club. It's difficult in England to find room for some of our top English players. Elliott will go on to do great things, but I'd have loved for it to have been at Liverpool. When you're in the best league in the world, you're going to have the best players, which makes it harder for young players to stake a claim. The top ones will always get in, but the ones who are borderline probably won't, but they need game time to get to the top level. Liverpool have got Ngumoha and Trey Nioni, so 1 or 2 will trickle through, but they have to be the elite of the elite. In France, Belgium, Austria, or Germany, all their kids are coming through. Emery publicly called out Elliott as he took aim at his Villa players following the draw with Sunderland, which continued a disappointing start to the season. Some players need adaptation, said the ex-Arsenal boss. For example, Harvey Elliott, a little bit he was getting the ball and so quick doing passes behind the defense without options. He needs to understand, okay, Harvey, you have skills to play more passes, and then to do the pass behind, outside or inside, in better positions to get something more. Then, as well, we were lazy, sometimes defensively lazy. For example, the way we conceded, we were lazy. Liverpool handed Mark Guehi transfer boost after Carabao Cup rule change. Southampton could exploit a Carabao Cup rule change in their upcoming match against Liverpool on Tuesday night, with manager Will still able to call upon new signing Tom Fellows. The Saints are coming into this tie following a 3-1 defeat to Hull City in their last game. Fellows featured in the reverse at the MKM Stadium. Under the previous EFL rules, the forward would have been forced to watch the game at Anfield as he'd already played in the competition for another team. Fellows joined the Saints from West Bromwich Albion for an initial 8 mailers at the end of August and has made 2 appearances so far for the South Coast club. Prior to that, he played 4 times for the Baggies, one of those games being their Carabao Cup first-round tie against Derby County. Previously, the midfielder would have been cup-tied and ineligible to play against Liverpool due to his participation with the Baggies. However, a recent change in EFL rules means that the 22-year-old midfielder is now eligible to play at Anfield. According to Rule 6.4, a registered player is allowed to play for up to 2 clubs in the competition if they meet certain criteria, one of those being if the player has featured for his parent club in the competition before the end of the summer transfer window and has subsequently moved to a different club on a loan or permanent deal before the closure of that summer transfer window. Liverpool boss Arne Slot has already admitted that they will be making significant changes to their lineup against the championship team. That could open up opportunities for Giovanni Leoni, Federico Chiesa, Wataru Endo, Joe Gomez, and Rio Ngumoha to prove their worth against the Saints. The new Carabao Cup rule does mean that, should the Reds make a January signing from a fellow English club, that they could still feature in the latter stages of the tournament. That is provided they had not played for one of the other semi-finalists in the first leg of the Final Four. So, in theory, if Liverpool were to reignite their interest in Mark Guehi in January, He could still play for the Reds in the semifinals and final due to this rule change, despite having already played for Crystal Palace in this season's competition. The Reds are extremely unlikely to make a move for the England defender in January, however given. He will be available on a free transfer at the end of the season. Competition, though, is hotting up with Manchester City now, considering joining the race for Guehi's services. This is not an excuse. Arne Slot drops confession about Liverpool's early season. Liverpool manager Arne Slot acknowledges there is still room for improvement, despite his team's flawless beginning to the campaign. He does, though, claim that the relentless fixture list means his team will not be at their peak level in every match. Their most recent triumph came in the Merseyside derby, with the Reds claiming a 2-1 victory over Everton at Anfield. That followed just days after they delivered a stoppage time winner to overcome Atletico Madrid in their first Champions League fixture of the year. Slot's team have repeatedly delivered crucial late strikes, finding the net in the closing stages to defeat the likes of Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Burnley. The Dutchman remains impressed by how his squad can deliver match after match despite the restricted recovery time, but maintains it is not an excuse if displays fall short of expectations. Prior to Liverpool's encounter with Southampton in the Carabao Cup third round on Tuesday evening, Slot penned in his program notes, "In terms of the game itself, we go into it on the back of a victory over our neighbours Everton in the Merseyside derby. That win maintained a start to the season which has definitely been promising, even though we know there is still room for improvement. This victory gave me a great deal of pleasure, not only because it came in a derby, but mainly because it followed a demanding schedule of Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday fixtures. Inevitably, our energy levels weren't the same at the end of such a testing week as they were at the start. I need to stress once again, this is not an excuse. Firstly, we do not need one because we won the game. And secondly, it is an explanation worth reiterating given the demands placed on our players. The way they faced up to this challenge showed such a strong collective mentality, and winning such a tough fixture is a huge credit to them. Slot has already suggested significant changes will be made to his side that take on the Saints, who dropped down from the Premier League last season. Alexander Isak could be handed a starting berth, with the Swedish striker set to assume a crucial role moving forward as he builds up his match fitness following a disrupted preseason campaign. Liverpool's upcoming league encounter takes them to the impressive Crystal Palace on Saturday. In 7 days' time, the Reds will again be traveling but to Turkey to meet Galatasaray in the Champions League. Over the span of 16 days in September, Liverpool will have contested 6 matches across 3 separate competitions, underlining just how demanding a spell it represents for Slot's squad. Underrated Liverpool ace, dubbed Best Professional Paul Pogba's ever seen, learn from him. Paul Pogba has admitted he needs to learn from former Liverpool star Takumi Minamino, having been blown away by the Japan international since joining AS Monaco. The Frenchman is yet to make his debut for the League One outfit following a difficult 3 years. The midfielder is looking to rebuild his career back in his homeland, having been plagued by injuries, seen his contract with Juventus terminated, and served an 18-month doping ban since leaving Manchester United. He endured an injury-plagued final season at Old Trafford back in 2021-22, with his final appearance for the Red Devils coming when he was forced off early on their 4-0 defeat to Liverpool at Anfield in April. Pogba returned to Juventus on a free transfer at the end of the season, only to see his injury woes continue. He was then later provisionally suspended from playing due to a failure of a drug test in September 2023. The midfielder's contract with Juventus was terminated last November, having made just 12 outings for the club, despite Pogba successfully appealing his 4-year doping suspension after being found guilty of taking the banned substance DHEA. The ban had been reduced to 18 months in October 2024. Freeing him up to begin training and begin playing from January 2025 and March 2025, respectively. Pogba had to wait until June to find a new club, as he signed a 2-year contract with Monaco, but he is yet to feature for his side as he continues to work on regaining match fitness and sharpness having not featured competitively since September 2023, when he came off the bench during Juventus's clash with Empoli. Minamino is one player who has certainly made an impact on Pogba at the training ground since he joined Monaco, with the France international admitting he needs to learn from the Japanese's example. "Takumi is always the first one to arrive at training and the last to leave," he told Sportiva. "I've never seen a player so disciplined yet enjoying football so much at the same time. That's something I need to learn from him. When you watch him play, you can clearly see he's always thinking on the pitch. He's incredibly smart, and his movement shows just how deeply he understands the game." Minamino and Pogba never directly faced off as opponents during their respective stints at Liverpool and Manchester United, with the Japanese left as an unused substitute on each of the three occasions the Reds faced off against a Reds Devils side, including his new teammate, the forward, who, impressed in spells for Liverpool, made 55 appearances during 2.5 seasons at Anfield, returning 14 goals and 3 assists as he helped Jurgen Klopp's side win the Premier League in 2020 and both the League Cup and FA Cup in 2022, with many fans feeling he was underrated during his time on Merseyside. Leaving for Monaco in an initial $12.9 million deal in June 2022, Minamino has made 105 appearances for the League One outfit to date, returning 21 goals and 17 assists. Arne Slot aiming to get over Marc Guéhi's transfer blow with Liverpool's best in the world. It had all looked signed and sealed, until it wasn't. Liverpool's transfer deadline day move for Marc Guéhi was designed to bolster the Reds' backline with a Premier League proven performer, one who would both enhance the competition for the center-back spot alongside Virgil van Dijk and perhaps improve the performances of the player currently possessing the shirt, Ibrahima Konate. In fairness to the Frenchman, he has barely put a foot wrong in the 3 games since Guéhi failed to make the move. But given his contract impasse and occasional dip in form, there are still understandable concerns. However, on Tuesday night, supporters should get a glimpse of just why those concerns aren't too grave around the corridors of Anfield and Kirkby, because with the greatest respect to goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili, Giovanni Leoni will be the Reds' debutant with most eyes on him against Southampton as the 18-year-old steps out in red for the very first time. The first thing that strikes you about Leoni is his sheer size, with eyes immediately drawn to his 6'5" 5" frame as he warmed up during his 2 appearances in the matchday squad thus far against Newcastle and Atletico Madrid. Leoni has just as big a reputation, too, with 17 Serie A appearances for Parma, following previous stints in Italy's 2nd and 3rd tiers, all that were needed for many in a country renowned for its defenders to make their minds up on him. Leoni, the best defender in the world? Looking ahead, he might be, said the former Parma defender Alessandro Lucarelli recently. Being the best defender in the world is tough. His qualities are unquestionable. He has everything it takes to become a world-class player. Time is on his side. He's very young and can still improve. Even at this age, he has shown he's one of the best young players in Europe. Otherwise, Liverpool wouldn't have signed him. Indeed, Liverpool do view Leoni very much as one for now as well as one for the future, with the club seeing him as one of their elite centre-back options for the first-team squad along with Van Dijk, Konate, and Joe Gomez. It will be the latter who is likely to partner Leoni against Southampton, and that will make for an interesting duo. Gomez's quality has been evident over 10 years at Liverpool, when he's been on the pitch, and he will very much be the senior partner, but Leoni is not backward in coming forward. He relishes a physical duel and certainly has the stature for it. Critics of the Reds' potential move for Guéhi would often focus on the Crystal Palace man's stature, but that won't be an issue with the Italian. He looks primed for a big impact, and Tuesday night could be the start of something special. Hugo Ekitike shrugs off. 80-man Liverpool price. Tag Ekitike. Focused on football. Liverpool's new center forward. Hugo Ekitike has made it clear that the weight of his €80 million transfer fee does not concern him. Speaking to Canal Plus Sport, the French striker delivered a simple message: I don't care. The 23-year-old arrived from Eintracht Frankfurt this summer, with Liverpool paying $80 million plus 12 millers in bonuses to secure his signature. He has wasted no time justifying the outlay, scoring 4 goals across all competitions. Early impact under Slot, Ekitike, has already endeared himself to Liverpool supporters by finding the net in the Merseyside derby, helping the Reds to victory over Everton. He stated that his focus remains solely on the pitch. Everything that can be said on the outside, the transfer fee, it is what it is. Football changed. You have a big price tag on your back? Just play football. Those words will sit well with fans who admire his attitude and commitment. Arne Slot's side appear to have secured a striker capable of handling the pressure of leading the line at Anfield. Our view: Anfield Index Analysis. This is exactly what we want to hear from a big-money signing. Too often, players can get lost in the noise surrounding their transfer fees, but Ekitike seems unfazed. His focus on just playing football is refreshing and aligns with the mentality that has brought Liverpool so much recent success. 4 goals in such a short span suggests that he is already settling well into Slot's system. Scoring in a Merseyside derby so early in his career is no small feat, and moments like that help forge a bond with the Anfield crowd. Fans will appreciate his work rate and movement, which have brought a new dimension to Liverpool's attack. If he continues to score and lead the line with the same confidence, Ekitike could quickly become a Cup favorite. The price tag will soon be forgotten if he keeps delivering in big games and helping Liverpool push for more silverware. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.